Hey guys, we are here today with a special dude, good friend of mine, Brandon. He's a veteran agent on our team here, and we're going to get to know him. Really, how did he get into real estate? Where is he at now? What does he do that's different? So you guys get to know how awesome this dude is. So, Brandon, some questions for you. Um, I don't think I know the answer to this question is how did you even get into real estate? Like what got you started?
Well, I had an accounting background where I did that for 8 years and was looking to get into something different. My dad was a general contractor, so I grew up around residential homes, seeing them, but never wanted to swing a hammer, so thought I'd sell homes.
Yeah, I don't blame you, especially in this heat. Now, that's a good background. I think a lot of real estate agents come into this and they don't really have any construction knowledge. That's got to be able to help you with your clients. So, how long have you been in the business? Is it 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years now.
8 years now. Come from accounting and construction background. Now, fast forward today, the failure rate for real estate agents is quite high. I think it's 87% of everybody who gets into our career fails. Yet you've made it to year 8. What do you think has gotten you there? What makes you different? If I were to say what makes you special, because there's 60 to 70,000 agents in the valley and most of them don't even survive, really. So what makes you different?
I think just my compassion for people and wanting to serve people. I think having that construction background and understanding of how houses are built helps through the inspection process as well. And then patience. I think just not allowing emotions get the better of the transaction and being able to take a step back and work through problems to solve them.
Yeah. I think noticed since I was able to work a transaction with you, which was a luxury transaction, Brandon and I were able to sell a luxury home in Arcadia. And I think what separates you from other agents who maybe don't have experience in the luxury world or aren't quite there yet is your patience and then your connections too. I think you're really well connected. And I think you have the demeanor to work and elevate in the luxury world. I think you have the connections and all the really the personal skills to be a really good luxury agent. So that was a good transaction. We went through it. We had to sit, think, problem solve a couple of times on how we could kind of get that home sold, and you executed really well. So that was awesome. I always like to ask this question because you've been in the game 8 years and real estate can be really lonely out there, but obviously you're accomplished. You know what you're doing. You don't need a lot of hand holding. Why would you join a group or a team of people? Why not just go be a lone wolf and just do the Brandon show and kind of run things your own way and just wild, wild west? Why would you even be part of a group or a team?
Well, real estate can be a very lonely business. So culture, environment is really what I was drawn to. Being around good people, because you can go through seasons, highs and lows, and when you're in a low season, it's good to be around good people.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've gone through probably 3 or 4 of those highs and lows in real estate. I've had my ups and downs, and just having those people can be that can be the make or break. I think when we met, you were in a transitionary phase, and then after that, I think you put 7 or 8 deals in escrow in like a month.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
The average agent sells 5 or 6 homes a year.
yeah.
And it's awesome. If you were to talk to a new agent now, that's getting into the business in 2024, knowing what you know now, you've seen a lot, what advice would you give to them? How would you tell them to get started? And I know we're both laughing because we're like, this is freaking hard. It's harder than it looks, right? If it was so easy, why wouldn't everybody else be doing it? But can you give any advice to maybe the people who are out there watching who are newer in the game, struggling, any words of wisdom that would help them?
I think personal development, first and foremost. I think I really struggled my first year until I really developed my personal self. And then as that grew, my business grew as well. I started having more confidence, put myself out there, whether it be video content or anything. There's that. And then just market knowledge, staying up to date with Cromford and getting into homes.
Yeah. So maybe going out and touring homes, right? I think as a newer agent, even if you're like, I did my calls, did my open house, I have nothing else to do, maybe like market knowledge, going out and actually looking at the inventory.
I would say go out and in your first 30 days, get into 100 different homes. Just understand different floor plans, finishes, and various price points, and then track them, right? Track what you think it's going to sell for versus what it actually closes at.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Another thing I think that people might want to know, especially if they are in the golf community, is that you have a strong golf background. I think you have a lot of knowledge, and I think us players or people who like golf or passionate about golf, if they want to buy a house in a golf course community, there are a lot of things that people might know. I think the average agent doesn't know these things. Like, what are the different communities? Does it matter where you buy a house on the golf course? Are you buying a place with a public membership or a private membership? Talk about your golf background, maybe any passions you might have for working with golfers or connecting with that golf community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I really got into golf. I started probably my junior high school. And then in high school, I really took to it, dropped baseball, and just went all in. And it's always been a passion of mine. One of my second careers out of college was actually assistant golf pro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, love to play. Really found a lot of great networking through golf. It's just a natural passion of mine. So met some really great people through it. As far as buying homes, I would avoid buying homes anywhere off the fairway. Homeowners are responsible for any damages that are done. That's why you have insurance.
So when we see those funny videos on Instagram where somebody comes out screaming because you hit their house, the golfer's not responsible, are they? Nope, they're not. So do you think if somebody has any sort of passion for golf or they want to live in or around a golf community, do you think it matters the type of agent you use? Like, for example, an agent like you who is an accomplished golfer, who was in the golf world, who has knowledge, do you think you have an advantage versus an agent who maybe doesn't have a golf background or passion for golf?
Oh, absolutely. I think a agent that doesn't know golf would just put somebody in a home just because they like it, not educate them on the various things with the home. So
I agree. I think they might not know how important it is to know the financial health of the community. How is the HOA doing? Are the reserves right? Where is the tee box oriented? You know, they might just say, oh, this house is great. It backs to a golf course. It's got great views. But little do they know, because they don't golf, that house is going to get blasted with golf balls. I see that all the time versus hiring somebody like you who's like, hey, I actually went out, I researched the community. The health of the golf club is really strong. Their membership is full. I noticed that there's 3 golf course community homes right now. These 2 are probably going to get peppered with balls, but this one actually has little to no chance. So maybe we should suggest that one, right?
correct. And even being able on private courses, being able to sell the membership with the house. Little tips and tricks like that.
Yeah, love it, love it. Where do you see yourself going with your career over the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you want to go? And it doesn't have to be like, I want to sell this many houses. Like, what would make you happy? If you were like, snap my fingers, and what would make you happy to accomplish in the real estate world?
Great question. Just continuing to serve people and obviously throughout time, increasing, I think, price point and getting into more luxury would be a short-term goal of mine. Obviously having repeat clients because I've served them well and they appreciate me, that would be another short-term goal, or long-term goal rather. And ultimately, if I could triple the volume of business over the next few years, I would say that's a win as well.
All right, I got one more question. Is being a realtor a passion or is it your purpose? It's not a right or wrong answer, but it's a tricky one.
I would say I found purpose in it through my time. It very much is a passion because I love being in residential homes. Part of that passion comes from growing up with my dad being a general contractor, and yeah, just have an appreciation for the carpentry in it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's always fun seeing that home that's like, oh, that's one of a kind, man. Like, it's really cool what we do get to see. So
Absolutely.
well, guys, we were able to get to know a lot about Brandon today. If you live in the Phoenix community or Scottsdale and you're kind of thinking about maybe buying or selling a luxury home, a golf course community, or you just want a veteran agent who knows his stuff, who's patient, who has a construction background, guy's a pro. Hit up Brandon, reach out to him. I think you cannot find a better agent in the Valley, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you today.